Did you know that we cover a lot of the same material from 4th grade to 7th grade for the most part? Now, sometimes we go more in depth with certain topics, but there are times where we literally are talking about the same thing, like fraction addition, decimal division, decimal addition. We talk about the same thing for 4 years in a row, and yet we have so many students that struggle with pre-algebra concepts. Hello, my name is Amos Tarfa and I'm the director of the Learning Institute for Excellence. In this video, I want to talk to you about a solution to the pre-algebra problem in America. I grew up in Nigeria where we used a system of learning that involved a very high bar to the point where if you didn't pass math, you would actually have to repeat the whole grade. So for example, if you're in 6th grade, or let's say you're in 7th grade and you fail a math course, you have to repeat the whole of all of 7th grade, including all the other subjects that you passed, right? So they really take it seriously when they talk about making sure you understand the concepts. They don't want you to fail the subject. But in America, I've seen kids who have moved on to the next level, moved on to the next grade level, but they're not comfortable with the previous concepts in the previous year. And so what I'm looking at doing is helping kids, first of all, by providing them a free assessment. So we have this free assessment, 50 questions on this assessment. And so you take the assessment. This assessment was available online. You just take the assessment. But what I did though with the assessment is that I took each topic from the assessment and I labeled what the concept is about. So for example, the first concept was a ratios and proportions concept. So if someone takes the assessment and they get number 1 wrong, that means that their understanding of ratios and proportions needs to be strengthened. So I give them a video to watch, which they can watch and then see if they are just struggling with it a little bit or if they're clueless. Depending on where they're at, then I transfer them over to our pre-algebra textbook and help them solidify or get a solid base in that topic. So basically, we are taking pre-algebra concepts, which people take from about 4th grade to 7th grade, and we make a list of all those concepts, and then we help people strengthen every single one of these concepts. Let me give you an example of how this works so that you can see how you can help your student improve in their math skills. If someone tells a student to add fractions of unlike denominators, one of the things that comes up is that teachers will mention that you need to have a common denominator, right? And then we talk about the LCM or the LCD, the lowest common denominator or the lowest common multiple. The idea is that if you can change the fractions to have the same denominator, then you can add their numerators. There will be no problem there. But do you know that in order to find the lowest common denominator, somebody has to have some understanding of prime numbers? So the problem here is adding fractions. But notice that we've quickly gone into prime numbers. We need some understanding of prime numbers in order to find the lowest common denominator in order to add fractions of unlike denominators. So notice that math topics sometimes have secondary topics or topics that are underneath the surface that will help strengthen the student's ability. With the assessment that we're doing here, that's part of what we're trying to do. We're really trying to isolate every single branch of pre-algebra, and so that we can treat the weakness in that specific spot. And if we treat the weakness in the different spots of a specific topic, that student becomes stronger overall, and then they can move on and take the next challenge and so on and so forth. This is a principle that we've used for about 10 years. I've used this principle for about 10 years with students. But the interesting thing is that there's a book by Anders Ericsson called Peak. And in that book, they basically talk about that principle. And the word they use is deliberate practice. People need to learn how to practice like that, with deliberate practice. Having a coach and a guide along the journey. If you have solid fundamentals, if you focus on your foundation and strengthen your foundation, if you break every topic down to its fundamental units and strengthen the fundamental unit, your student will flourish in mathematics. They're bound to flourish. Like, it will just happen. There is no way around it. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't focus on the fundamentals. That's why students get to a certain level and they're afraid, and it's like they're going to fall in that topic. So we have a pre-algebra course which you could sign up for. If you sign up for the course, it allows you to also, call in. I can schedule some meetings with myself or someone on my team. We could check in and see how your student is doing. The pre-algebra course can be completed in 3 months. You have access to it for a year, but you can complete it in 3 months if you want, if you go at an accelerated rate. But just take your time, work through the concepts. The assessment will tell us exactly what we need to do. And then I think of it like a surgeon. We can do surgery and help fix every single piece that needs to be fixed. And then you will begin to teach others mathematics. As we teach you the math also, we will encourage you to read the World of Mathematics book, which you can provide to your students if you want. And basically, this book will show them some of the applications of mathematics, some of the history involved in mathematics, and therefore the students can appreciate mathematics more and give it a chance. So I want to encourage you today, if you have a student or if you know someone or maybe you are struggling with math and are not as excited about it, I want to encourage you to give math a chance again by strengthening your fundamentals and having a coach guide you to the destination, which for me, I tell people is calculus and statistics. It's mostly calculus, but some people will argue that we need statistics. So my answer is let's do both. So let me equip you, train you, take you on this journey, and then you can decide if you want to be an economist or if you want to become a historian. You could do that, but you can at least say that you enjoyed your math journey and math wasn't a problem. That is what we want to do for every child in America and around the world. So feel free to subscribe, feel free to send me an email, feel free to sign up for the course, and we will do our best. We will help you to master mathematics like never before. Have a blessed day, and thank you for watching.